Hey guys, my name is Nina Means. I'm the director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, and you're watching Coffee Talk. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about is this new ATX Egypt fashion entrepreneurship program. So I've gotten some questions about it. My inbox is flooded with emails about the program, and I can't wait to share with you guys a little bit more about what can be expected from participating in the program. So typically, whenever you think about us as a fashion incubator, we're really working with early stage brands to help them get their spot in the market, right? We're helping them to grow, we're helping them to be in a scaling position, but they have not scaled yet. They're small, they're emergent, they may be even retesting their minimum viable product. And so this is an opportunity for us to spend a little bit more time, to cultivate them as brands. Now, whenever we talk about ATX Egypt, this is a very different kind of program. This is a program that we would maybe we would call it an accelerator. This is something where we're looking at brands that are much more established. They've had at least 2 years of sales, but a lot of the brands that are applying are 3, 5, even 8 years old. That are looking for global expansion. So this is an opportunity for us to introduce brands that have true viability outside of our market to Egypt. And so this is something we're really excited about because the global business opportunity for a lot of brands who've launched here, who have grown here, and are now ready to, spread their wings, so to speak, are going to get a chance to leverage this very unique opportunity that's sponsored by the U.S. Embassy of Cairo and led by the City of Austin Economic Development Department Global Business Expansion Team. So how did ACC Fashion Incubator get into the mix of this? So we are in this as the virtual educational lead. We have come up with a very unique curriculum for this particular project that will guide brands into what it will take for them to launch profitably in another country. But here's the really interesting part. This is an exchange. So we will have brands from Egypt participating virtually in our program with brands from Austin. So all together, they'll get a chance to learn how to scale and grow their businesses, how to integrate fashion technology and work more sustainably, to be able to nail that import, export, and understanding duty and customs related with both countries. We have incredible partners brought on from the U.S. Commercial trade organizations to World Affairs Council to even some of our own homegrown digital marketers that are going to help blow the doors open on opportunity for these brands. But we've been able to partner with key infrastructure in the in Cairo specifically to be able to help launch and build brands in that country. So we're really excited about what's coming up, and we can't wait to share with you more about what's going to happen there. So the program, a lot of people have been like, it's a year-long program. You want me to be with you guys for an entire year? And we're saying yes and no. Okay. So we will not see you all year, every single week for the rest of, 2020, beginning in 2020, and then all the way through 2021. But what we will do is for the first 3.5 months of 2021, we will actually have some regular meetings where you're going to get a chance to work alongside of other brands and businesses who are in the fashion space, but also just in the world of import-export, understanding that business. So things that you may have had to uncover on your own, things that you may have had to slog through on government websites, we're going to unpack it here for you to make it really easy. Regarding the technology, we're going to introduce you to a wide range of technology and trend reports on what's happening in both markets so that you're able to understand how to translate what you've already been doing with your brand into a different context and what that means to actually do a true brand expansion that's true to what you've created. So if you are a business, it's not just saying, oh, I'm going to take what I've been doing here, I'm just going to sell it over here and it'll be great. Most of the time, that is not how it works. So what we want to do is we want to help unpack the cultural context as well as the business context and the terms that are going to be expected and the kinds of contracts that are going to be expected whenever you bring your product into a different country, whenever you bring your product into a different space. And so this is going to be the high level, tightest part of our funnel experience. And so the first 3.5 to 4 months is going to be really focused on helping to break that down and helping you to really expand in a way that is profitable, sustainable, and highly targeted for your new audience. So this is really key. All of these things should be things that you should be able to apply to your brand, regardless of whether you continue to work with Egypt or not. But we really want to see that exchange happen. And we think that there's going to be so much to gain from that experience. Then what happens after 3-ish months, 3 or 4 months, is between the end of April through early August, you are going to have what we call an implementation break. This implementation break is not just a summer vacation. This is actually a time for you to use what you've learned to prepare yourself to make the most of what we call phase 2 of the program. Phase 2 of the program is where we will actually have a physical exchange, not just a virtual exchange, a physical exchange with brands from Egypt and Austin. So this is really where it gets really exciting. And I think it was exciting before, but this is really kind of what we all come for, right? Is the opportunity to travel and see the world, as well as grow our businesses into new spaces. So Egyptian brands will actually come to Austin, and the brands from Austin will get a chance to travel to Cairo. So very specific exchange to help facilitate the sales of brands and businesses. But before we get out to the field, so to speak, what we want is to get a chance to reconnect with you after your implementation break. So you would have been, working on, refining product offerings or sending product to be tested with our business partners in Cairo, and vice versa. We'd be receiving product from brands that are going to be testing product in market here in Austin and getting a chance to get a good read on how that product performs. And then whenever you guys get back from your implementation break, you actually get a chance to get kind of a recap of where we left off, a bit more information before we kind of launch into those physical exchanges. It's making sure that everyone's visas are together and make sure, all of the logistics are set up correctly. And then we can launch into these individual exchanges. So of course, whenever the brands come from Egypt to Austin, all the Austin brands are welcome to attend. We'll be doing we'll be going to the showrooms at Dallas Market Center and introducing brands to showrooms and getting a chance to understand what it takes to be displayed in some of these spaces. If you're not carried in a showroom already, or if you're not carried in a showroom in this particular region, this would be of a high value for you to get a chance to work with a sales rep or understand what it would mean to work with a sales rep. And if you are in a space to grow your brand that way, so, whether you're domestic or international, you get a chance to see that. We'll be doing pop-up shops and getting a chance to have brands test product here in market and really kind of promote that exchange here in the US. But then after that, in December, late November, early December, we'll be taking all of our brands over to Cairo to get a chance to, see how their product performed and to have an incredible cultural exchange and to learn more about the market and to access, manufacturing and to meet with some of the commercial partners with the US government and to really understand what it's going to take for you to bring your brand to market. I promise you, you will not get this kind of experience outside of a program like this. If you are expanding into another country, you will never meet the Minister of Commercial Services from the embassy. Like, you probably won't have a meeting with them. You'll probably working with the vendor who has, contract with a store or a sales outlet, and you'll be launching it that way, or maybe you'll start shipping, internationally, maybe kind of get your start that way. But to get this kind of introduction into a new country market, I really don't think that you're going to have a similar experience elsewhere. So we really want to encourage brands who believe that they are ready to grow, that they're ready to scale, to go into this space. So I believe that there will be more of these. I know Global Business Expansion with the City of Austin is looking for other opportunities to do this with other countries, but Cairo is up next. So guys, take advantage of it. Applications are open for another week or so. Actually, we've got until early next week for those applications to close up. But I've seen a lot of you guys come through, a lot of great opportunity, but do know that Austin is engaged with global business, and do know that the Fashion Incubator is involved with scaling, more established brands. So we're really excited about what it is that we're able to bring here to the local market. And we are really excited about getting a chance to partner with all of our other educational and, venture and accelerator partners to be able to bring this to you here. So if you guys have any questions about it, definitely reach out to us. We want to create a space where you feel like you can reach out, as often as you need to. But we do try to put out this information in a way that you can access it. So if you haven't seen anything on this site, on the program, we'll provide the link to the content, to the application, and a bit more about the program. And if you miss this one, we totally get it. It's, sometimes that happens, but just know that there will be others in the future, and this may be an opportunity for you to grow your brand outside of the Austin area. So anyways, if you guys are looking for additional support, we'd love to help. And guys, this is really what we wanted to talk about this week, getting our week started for Coffee Talk. So have a great week. Go forward and do great business, and we'll talk to you guys soon.